estado fuera demasiado tiempo, Alicia.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small.
No se puede abandonar a los amigos. ¡Corre!
And you know you're going to fall. Alice.
¿Hay algún problema?
El sombrerero es el problema.
El sombrerero es mi mejor amigo. Si lo necesita, le ayudaré.
Será una carrera contra el tiempo. Es alguien que no te conviene como enemigo.
¿El tiempo es un hombre?
She's been traveling around the world for the last 2 years, so she's feeling, has a very strong sense of who she is and feels really sure of herself. And I think she comes back into the English society and then is sort of shocked that expectations are really low of her. So she has to, through the course of the film, kind of regain that sense that she's like worth more than what they want from her. Like sort of where she was at in the script anyway. Like in the first film, I think she was quite uncomfortable and still kind of trying to work out who she was, and is still kind of a teenager in a way. And then in this film, I think a lot of time's passed and she's been doing what she loves, and so feeling really strong about herself.
One pill makes you larger.
Lewis Carroll wrote 2 books, Alice in Wonderland and Alice in the Looking Glass. And so he had a sequel in mind, and I thought, I grew up in England reading Alice, both books, and so I really enjoyed them, and I really used to make me laugh. And I love 2 things more than anything in the world, which is history and fantasy. And this book does both things incredibly beautifully as far as I'm concerned. So as a filmmaker, I was delighted to kind of get into that world of history and fantasy, and then try and bring what I consider to be my sort of realm of comedy to this particular book, because I used to laugh at Lewis Carroll a lot. It feels to me like he is a comedian, he's an absurdist surrealist, which is a very particular brand of comedy, very English. But you could trace it from Lewis Carroll to Monty Python as a direct link, and that to me is kind of what I grew up on and where I got my humour from, so I felt I could bring that to this film.
One pill makes you small, and the ones
That Tim's world is very beautifully created. But in this film, it's set in a different time period, different geographical locations, so there's room to make my own thing of it, while staying within the boundaries of Tim's world, so it felt like the same world. And so I had always liked the illustrations in the books by John Tenniel. They're very, very Victorian to me, and I felt that I love that idea. In this film, there's a lot more humans. You meet the Hatter's family. There's a town, there's a populace in the town, so therefore the question became, what would they appear to be? And so I got a lot of inspiration from looking at the drawings of the books and kind of ignoring the characters in the front and looking behind them at those people and what they look like. And so in this film you'll see a lot of various fish, frogs, dodos, half humans, half animals, in a very similar way to the book, which I quite like the idea of.
don't do anything at all.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I think she's definitely like a hero, and that's quite unique in this kind of film, because they much more commonly kind of center around a man, and if there is a woman in it, there's always like a romance or something. But I really like how in this one she's kind of like a hero, and it's on her own like terms in that sense.